Today we will be tying a Ray Bergman Fly, Mrs. Hasse, which was number 284 out of his numerous flies he tied. So we have number 8 hook in here. I'm starting the thread an eye width back and going down the shank, and I'm going to stop halfway between the point and the barb of the hook so I can keep my tail on the flat part of the shank. The tail piece are golden pheasant tippet, and I've got somewhere between 4 and 6, and they are going to be tied in at the shank length right here on the top of the hook. Just a little bit there. Keep that right up on the top. I'll go forward just a little bit to keep it there. And I'll trim my excess off. And take my thread back to the tie-in point. Here I'm going to take 2 peacock herls and tie it in here, again on top of the shank. Move my thread forward just a little bit, and I'm going to make 3 wraps with my peacock herl right on top of each other. And then I will take my thread, catch that up on the top, and wrap forward, leaving the herls on top of the hook shank for right now. I'm going to stop about an eye width back. The next thing I'm going to add in is 4 strands of rayon floss, light green in color. Again, I'm going to catch this right here on the top, pull it back through, and take my thread back to my peacock herl in the back here, and then go forward to where I have my other peacock herl. I will wrap this around here, creating the body. Catch that right there, lock it in place, and we'll wrap to take care of that. Go one more behind it. Now I can take my excess floss and cut it off. And now I'm going to take my peacock herl here and do 3 wraps right here, right behind the thread. And tie that in. Careful to take the tag ends off and not to cut my thread again today. Rotate my hook to its hook up, and I'm going to add there some black neck hackle to make a bearded hackle for this fly, and my bearded hackle will be just long enough to go from the tie-in point right behind the eye to the point of the hook. So I can tie that in right here like this. A couple little wraps. I can bring it forward just a little bit. So I've got it in place right there. I'll secure that. Take my extra tag ends off of here. Rotate my hook back over again. Check my bearded hackle. Now I'm ready to add in my wing, which is 2 pieces. We're going to tie this in reverse fashion. It's going to be as long as my hook shank. And this is nothing more than goose quill shoulder feather. I'm just a little bit long so I can trim it when I get done. I'm going to catch it with my thumb and forefinger like this and hold it in place. I'm going to take both pieces and let the weight of the bobbin pull it down on top of the shank of my hook. So that way I stay right up on the top of the hook. Readjust just a little bit, make sure I've got it up on the top here. Secure one more time in there for that. More of that secured. Now I can trim off my extra here. We'll take my thread and wind it counterclockwise just a couple of times to get the thread to open up and spread so I've got it out. You see there's a loose hackle feather here that we need to get out of the way. So now that I've got that flattened out, I can now start to create my head here. Tapered slightly. Right where I want it. Maybe just a little bit more, flatten a little bit. Now I'm going to take the whip finisher and add a whip finish to it. Flatten the thread out just one more time. Come back in here. Add a second whip finish to this. Secure it in place. I'm going to take my feather here and look at this real close. Now I can trim that straight on down. So I've got a nice feather sitting right here on top of this. And I'm going to use some UV glue to seal up my head and my thread. And I'm going to put that on with a bodkin. That way I can control just how much I get in there. Once I put it on here and rub it around evenly around the hook. Just a touch more here. That gives me a nice head created there. And hit it with some UV light. See, there's one small runaway hackle feather up here at the top of the barnacle. I'll take that off. And there we have Mrs. Hasse from Ray Bergman.